In this lesson, we're going to get started finishing off the outside of our gas pedal. You can carry on with your file from the previous lesson, or you can open the supplied MCU3D gas pedal Lesson 8 file. We want to make sure that we use the Setup-2 view sheet. This will bring the vise back into view as well as the pedal in the correct orientation. We also want to make sure that the insertion point is down inside of the Setup-2. To get started, we need to do a 3D OptiRough. Before we select anything, let's go into our Levels Manager and make sure that we show Level 20 Pedal Surfaces. Next, let's go into OptiRough. We'll leave the amount to leave on the wall and floor at 0.01, and let's select the machining regions. In this case, we can go into our masks, we can select the red surfaces, and say OK. I then want to manually select the 4 circle patches and end selection. If we want to add any avoidance regions, we can come in again using our quick masks, and we're going to use the lighter color green, which will give us the section around the outside. Under Toolpath Control, we're not going to use any boundary chains, but we're going to select the outside compensation option. The tool that we want to use is going to be tool number 11, which is a 1/2 inch bull end mill. We're going to add a comment of OptiRough and go into the cut parameters section. I want to make a quick note about the stock option. Now inside here, you'll notice that we have an option that's grayed out currently called maximum stock engagement, and it references a stock model. That's not applicable here for us, and I'm actually going to turn off rest machining because we're starting from scratch on the other side. But just note that we do have several options depending on which toolpath you're using. Under cut parameters, for right now I'm going to leave all of the defaults set, and under steep shallow, I'm going to use Z depths, and I want to use a maximum Z depth by hitting Z on the keyboard and enter. And then I want to come in and I want to pick the lower section, one of these edges on the outside. Lastly, let's go into linking parameters. Make sure that your clearance plane is set to 0.1 and that we use the minimum distance and say OK. I do want to note that some of these settings are persistent, so if you've used a previous operation and changed some of those settings, they will carry through the next operations. Also note that we have gouge check turned on, which means that it may adjust some of the toolpath motions. So here you can see our OptiRough based on the stock that we're using. Currently there's some original size stock, so I'm going to go into my level manager. I'm going to make sure that level 10 is active, and I'm going to hide level 1 and go back to my toolpath manager. So now we have the OptiRough operation. I'm going to create a stock model. Now here's the important part. I want to use the stock model from stock model Setup-1.5, and I'm going to call this stock model Setup-2 1. But the important thing to note is that we need to make sure that the stock plane matches what the original stock plane was for stock model Setup-1. So we need to come in, we need to change this to the Setup-1 plane, and our source operation is going to be 16. We'll allow that to calculate, and we'll take a look at how much material OptiRough was able to remove so we can start to plan what finishing operations we want to use. With the stock model complete, we can see that we have some material left on the top of the part that we need to address. In order to take care of this, I'm going to go back to my levels and back to the original bounding box. You can see that this is the origin of our stock, so we need to take the roughing operation for the OptiRough all the way out to this corner. So back in the toolpath, back in the parameters, under toolpath control, let's go to the containment boundary. We want to select all 4 edges, and we will also want to use from outside. We're going to regenerate the OptiRough operation and make sure that the toolpath is starting from the outside and that it's clearing enough material so that we don't have those large regions left. In some cases, when you have material that's going to drop off like that, it can produce a large problem by either throwing a chunk somewhere inside of the machine or damage to the part. Make sure that we have a little bit of clearance off, like we do here, And this is all stuff that we can also check once we go into verify our operations and check for collisions. Let's also update the stock model to make sure that we're cutting all the material that's needed. Now that the stock model is updated, we can see that this looks quite a bit better. It gives us a great starting point for some finishing toolpaths. So from this point, let's go ahead and save the file so we can move on to the next step.